Hey guys, what's up? This is James from the James Post. I want to start off by giving a shout out to a YouTuber, which I don't know the name, you know, by heart, but I will leave the name of the YouTuber because um, I appreciate the comment that this YouTuber left on one of my short videos, and the topic of that short video, it was called "How to, to build trust." You know, you know, for yourself. And this YouTuber, mentioned that that video was very kind and very emotional, and that it was needed. So he or she thanks me, and I replied back and I said, it's an honor, you know, that I'm able to help people, you know, uh, if it motivates them, I'm really happy. I'm really also happy that my YouTube channel is also growing and is getting viewers and subscribers, and it's getting across slowly and maturely. But I'm content, and I hope that my channel reach out to many people, because I understand that we all go through struggles. We all have issues. We all have underlying mental fitness or mental health. And my context is just not for you guys. Like, I'm not gonna approach you guys and be like Mr. Know-It-All, you know because not only are you guys are getting the benefits, but I'm also getting the benefits, because I'm also working on it too, from a person who has depression and bipolar disorder as well, and also um, who is also not taking medication or not going to a therapist. When I do a self therapy, self vent videos, it's technically me venting, talking to myself. But when I upload it, it's gonna look like I'm venting, for you guys. you know. And if you go to my playlist under self therapy, you'll see that I mentioned a couple about empaths. I mentioned about envy, and today I'm going to be talking about manipulation, because since we all have issues and since we all have mental illness, if it looks like, to me at least, it looks like they're just giving the manipulators a pass to continue to what they're doing. you know it's not a It may be considered as mental illness, but it's actually more behavior, and they are full aware of what they're doing, but because they get satisfaction from it, hurting people's feeling, frustrating people, making their life impossible, they like that. So this video is me exposing the manipulators, because I'm still dealing with some of these people who are manipulators. It could be within family, friends, past relationship, or someone that you just barely know, but you already detect the behavior. This video is about me exposing them, because what I'm experiencing so far, someone needs to put a stop on this. Someone needs to you know give the breaking news about how these manipulators works. Okay, manipulation is a categorized form of mind control that can be described in dark psychology as an alteration to what an individual is thinking, and how they may or may not react, or their behavior, in general. This is ultimately viewed as a psychological manipulation, and it deals with the human mind and psyche as well. This sort of influence or deceptions aims towards a social influence that changes the perception of a person's reality, on purpose. you know when someone's perception or view of reality is altered, their behaviors towards certain things or people is also affected. There is usually some sort of menacing tactic behind it, often more than just one. So, to manipulate someone, when a manipulator, tries or go and manipulate someone, it could be abusive, intrusive, it could be, deceptive, devious, and malicious actions are often used as tactics to manipulate a person into changing their perception and behavior using manipulation. The manipulator or the deviant can advance his or her own benefits at the expense of their victim and often their victims' loved ones, saying that manipulation affects may affect lives, and not just the life of people who's being manipulating, or the victim, but it could be a loved one, it could be a family member, you know or it could be someone in a relationship, you know and dark psychology. So like they know what they're doing is what they're doing is controlling other people's mind, to make them to make them feel like they have this guilt, to make them feel like, to convince them that they're wrong, and the manipulators are always right. And newsflash, no, it's the other way around. But because no one talks about it, and the manipulators are been given a pass to just run the show, it becomes a normalization, and it's not. Like, you cannot realize that it's not a normalization if someone who's being affected by a manipulator ends up in a tragic situation. Manipulation usually consists of very deceptive methods that aim to exploit the victim, and leads to various abusive and malicious tactics to become more easily utilized. Some people can realize that they are being manipulated, but not everyone can realize that. They can't realize that right away. It's also easier to notice someone else being manipulated rather than yourself, seeing that most of us are more likely to believe that we are in full control of our emotions, reactions, and behavior. So this is so this is like, as I'm going deep into this, like, it can leave damage. I hope you guys who are manipulators, realize that what you guys are doing, it leaves a lot of damage. Whoever is, infected by this emotionally, reaction wise and behavior, they will never be the same. And I'm wondering if that's what you're aiming for. I'm wondering if that will make you happy. This is true. We all struggle to identify or point out manipulative behaviors because there's some sort of bond or trust between the subject or the victim, that we perceive as trustworthy. Manipulation is a well disguised tool that can often come disguised as a guidance or trustworthy, or they come at you comfortable. It's a disguise, but it's hard for us to identify that because we give the benefit of the doubt, and right away we already are putting that applying that trustworthy, because some of these manipulators can talk a good game. Some of these manipulators can, they know how to act. They can convince you, when they're in disguise, and once you fall for it, it's all over. And then what? Because what's gonna happen is, once you fall over, then you're gonna feel like it's your fault. Don't feel that way. Don't feel that way. Keep listening. So far, in manipulation to work, the subject or the victims must be steered towards the belief that they have no other choice or option in the situation or circumstances. They are deceived into thinking that something is true when it's false, or they are likely handle false and alter information. Some also will give only a small amount of truthful information to cover up the actual truth or reality, to push the victims into a certain decisions or thought process. Not only do they alter the truth to get what they want, but they also blackmail their victims and subjects. At times, if the victim or subject is aware you know of the whole truth behind that. So it's always something. Is a manipulator is gonna always want to find a way to gain something. And then once you realize the bullshit that they do, then that's when they go ahead and start blackmailing you and start threatening you. These manipulators, they do not feel any empathy or sympathy towards their victims or subject. They usually pretend to hold someone sort of bond with the subject or victim when they frankly just do not care at all whether or not this person is normal or by hurt by the outcome. They don't care about your feelings. They only care about their feelings. It makes them so fucking happy that you're not you're not feeling good. You're not mentally and physically, even emotionally well. They like that. They like to see people go down. That's pretty much what it is. Okay? They're selfish, seeing that they will harm or even damage anyone's life for their gain, no matter the circumstances. There's some experts here, psychology, that can tell you that the manipulators are very experts, to the craft. They are known to blackmail, threaten, exploit, terrorize their victims to get what they want. Okay? So here's my question now. What is the root cause of manipulation? According to psychologists and all these professionals, they say that the root cause of manipulation behavior can often be toxic cycles of violence, narcissism, unhealthy relationship in the manipulator's own childhood, and also in any relational context that include family, friends, professionals, romantic or even social, sexual relationships. Okay, we understand that there's other people like us who don't have what you have, and we've been going through a similar situation. But why is it that we are able to treat it, and we are able to work it out? But for you guys, the manipulators, it seems like there's no way to handle that. I can tell you this right now. It can be handled. It's just that they chose not to because it's prideful. They enjoy that. So these are the same people who are manipulators, that know their background, that know what affects them, that know what caused them to be how they are, but they choose not to take the time to reconstruct and build themselves. They don't want to do that. Okay. All right. According to my knowledge, okay, yeah, it's a mental illness that can be reversed, because manipulation is borderline personality disorder. And you notice that I just said borderline. So when it's borderline, it actually means that it could be reversed. So if I'm diagnosed with borderline, bipolar, then that means that I have the high risk to reverse it. If someone else, God forbid, if someone has borderline diabetes, that person have a high risk to reverse it. Anything that is borderline, it could be reversed. So if someone who is a manipulator, professionally, it's been said that it could be borderline, then why you guys don't choose to reverse it? Why don't you guys just stop doing what you're doing and reverse it and start building, a self-image of yourself? Start to value yourself. Because it could be reversed. It can be reversed. So check this out. I'm going to give you two offers that you probably going to refuse. You can either reverse your crap or receive the same medicine. Those are your two options. Either you reverse you reverse what you're doing and calm yourself down, or you're gonna get the same taste of medicine. And if for those who chose to not to reverse it, then allow me to to give out some gems on how we can reverse psychology on you guys. Because I know that when you guys are getting the same medicine, you guys won't like it. You guys are gonna start acting like the victim. You're gonna start feeling offended and all that, when you had all this chance to reverse it yourself and just let it go and move on. If you choose to reverse your crap, then stop using dark psychology on us. Start changing your behavior, your perception, your emotions, your reactions. Start showing more empathy to others, sympathy to others as well. Stop being the selfish type. Stop blackmailing people with your manipulation. Okay? Stop the threatening. Stop the exploitation. And stop terrorizing people's life like that. Because that is not a joke. We are all in the same, in the same pot where we didn't have it good, whether it's a childhood or past experience. And as far as I know, I don't hear or I don't see or haven't witnessed anybody who doesn't have a borderline personality disorder, that has other disorders, and I don't see them doing, affecting people. In fact, what I'm seeing and what I'm witnessing, including myself, is that we're trying our best to change. We're trying to better ourselves. We're trying to value ourselves. And it's not fair for those who are manipulators with this, with this diagnosis of borderline personality disorder, because it could be reversed. You guys are choosing not to. That is not an excuse. If you do not choose to reverse your crap, then be prepared to get a taste of your own medicine. Be prepared for that reverse psychology. Okay? Because we're going to outsmart you. We're going to postpone, your answer. We're going to question your motivation. We're going to show that we're not interested in what you want. We're going to set boundaries. We're going to keep our self-respect. We're going to take care of our self-respect. We're going to keep ourselves distant from you guys. And we're going to make sure that you guys do not generalize. You know why? Because men and women who are manipulators, they also expand by utilizing other parties, to contribute their manipulation. And some of them are using their kids, to manipulate them, so that way they can brainwash their kids and convince the kids that the other parent is no good, that the other parent is in the wrong, that the other parent is unfit. We're gonna make sure that you guys don't generalize that. For all the women, every woman out there who's a manipulator, please stop. It's not attractive, okay? It doesn't take you nowhere, okay? It's not gonna help you keep your family relationship, your friends relationship. It's not gonna help you, to maintain a healthy relationship or even sexual, your sexual relationship. Stop being manipulated. It won't take you nowhere. Because you're gonna come across people who's gonna identify your behavior, and either they're gonna back away, or they're gonna reverse the psychology. And I know you don't want that. So then stop what you're doing. There's a lot of things that women are capable to do. Manipulating is not one of those. It's a waste of time. I don't know how you can wake up in the morning or whatever the time your supernatural is, to wake up and say, you know what, I'm gonna start giving this person, I'm gonna start giving this person a hard time because I feel like it. Like, excuse my language, but what the fuck? And for those men out there who are also a manipulator, please stop. Cause it's not taking you nowhere. You're not a man if you are a manipulator. Okay? It doesn't give you any type of God feeling that that you manipulate people. Because because a lot of you guys are just doing it for revenge. Don't you realize that will destroy what you have surround you? Don't you know that will destroy potential relationship with your family? I don't know about friends. I mean, because it takes a manipulator to know a manipulator. So I'm pretty sure you guys have a lot of friends, that have a lot of things in common. But when you are a man and you are a manipulator, do not expect to keep and maintain a relationship. Do not expect your significant other or your significant other to stay, because they're not gonna take that. And please do not play the victim when that person finally is able to identify yourself, and decide to distance. But you keep coming back because you're not happy with yourself. You ought to work yourself. I know you got some type of aggression or something in the past, but you gotta work yourself. You gotta find out, how to control that, how to fix that. It's borderline. It could be reversed. So stop it. A lot of you men, a lot of you guys can't even grow a full beard with line up on their face. So stop what you're doing. Two choices you have. You either reverse it or get the same taste. It's that simple. A lot of people, back in the days, when they find when they find out that this person has a depression or this person has, bipolar or whatever, they're very quick to tell this person, oh, that's nothing, that's all in your head, go ahead. Yeah, okay, it's in their head. So it could be treatable. But I don't see nobody, talking like that to someone who is a manipulator. It seems like people are afraid. And I get it. Because you used to open that trustworthy to that person. You used to share a lot of information, a lot of secrets. That person put up a good show, give you a good talk. So you feel like you're trapped. You're not trapped. All you gotta do is stay away from them. Cut them off. Just cut them off. That's all you gotta do. Stay away from that person and move on. Because at the end of the day, a manipulator is gonna have a self-awakening. He or she is gonna realize what they have done. And you know what? When that time comes, we're not gonna care. We're not going to care. So please stop wasting people's time like that. Stop hurting them like that. It doesn't take you nowhere. Okay? And let me tell you something. If I was somebody else who don't have knowledge, who do not have the understanding, who doesn't know anything about these behaviors, if I was somebody else who don't know nothing, you know how far I can go? You know how far I can handle a manipulator? Is that what you want? Then stop it. Reverse your crap. This is James on the James Post, man. I'm out of here.